Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 16th episode of Hidden Layers Diversity in Design. Today, I'm very honored to have such a I'm a massive fan of this artist. I always say that to all my guests, but he is another special guest. So, Maxime, please introduce yourself. Tell us your artist name and where you're from, please.
Man, thank you so much for having me first, and thank to all the watchers of this podcast. I'm Maxime Manga, Boa Art on Instagram. If you search, you will find me, obviously. And I'm an artist. I create stuff, and I'm 27, based, live, grown, educate in Cameroon, like the harder education ever. And yeah, I'm here, man. Thank you.
No. Good to see. Good to see. And I'm happy you're in Cameroon. You're enjoying the sunshine, I can tell.
Of course, man.
So, just a quick one. Obviously, I know your art personally. And one question that I always had for you is like, and I ask to everyone this question: has art always been something that you did since a very early stage when you was a little kid, or is it something that came in your life later on?
Is something that I was doing like since I was born, even into the belly of my mom,
I was
partying, bro.
I was
Like,
here
what
straight
the heck? With the blood and stuff, I was like, damn, I had the vision. So I'm just like, nah, I was drawing like a lot of mangas, Japanese anime and stuff. I was drawing Son Goku, I was drawing Naruto, drawing all this stuff, and I was like, damn, this is cool, this is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, since the very beginning, I was drawing.
It's funny because I will never ever think that she did manga. Looking at your work, because it's weird because a lot of people that draw a lot of anime, they always keep some traits of that visual language, if it makes sense. Rather, it feels like you've moved so far away from that. Let's say this: have you studied art school personally?
Absolutely not. I'm a self-taught.
Okay. What did you study, if I can ask?
I did 1 year at medicine. I was supposed to be a doctor, and I just left out because it was difficult. It was really difficult.
African parents?
African parent, of course, man.
Yeah.
Lawyer or doctor, you have two options.
I know. Or banker, that's it. That's the only three options. Yeah, that's it.
It's the Trinity,
Wow. Okay. And when do you start feeling like, did it immediately hit you that it wasn't the right place for you? Or did you stay there for a couple of years and you just drop out because it didn't make sense anymore?
The 1 year, I've just made like 3 months there, and I left out. And I was like, damn, it was the period of time. I don't know if you remember that, and if you have experienced it back at the time. It was the period when you saw all the startup game, like it was like the self-improvement thing, and you was like, you have to build a unicorn. So I go into the startup thing. I wanted to build the next Facebook, like be the unicorn of Africa, like building a startup. So I started a software engineering. I complete my engineer parkour or courses or whatever. And I started developing some crazy application. I remember back at the time I was doing like a kind of e-commerce thing, a social e-commerce when you can talk with the
like JavaScript and all that.
Yeah, PHP, JavaScript, CSS, all this Node.js for those who know. And I was
crazy, man.
In that word, and in that word, I was searching for image. When you have a website or an application, whatever, you need to have like beautiful image. You need to have an identity. And I stumbled across the work of, I don't know if you know Magdiel Lopez. And I was like,
heard of him.
Yeah, and I was like, damn.
Is that the guy that did the splash screen for Adobe?
Yeah, it's him, my brother.
My brother. No, the guy. No. ask him for a collab. He's a very unique and special with the work he produced.
Yeah.
Good eye. Sorry for that. Continue, by the way. Apologize.
No worries, man. And I was like, I stumbled across his work on Pinterest, and I was like, damn, how? Like, what the fuck is that? And I remember the tutorials on YouTube of an Indian guy. I don't know if you know, is Pixel Perfect or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that the motion graphic? Motion graphic?
I don't know if you do motion graphic, but you do Pixim Perfect. I think that is that. Pixim
I need to check it because I think I know.
He do photo. He was doing at this time Photoshop tutorials and stuff, and I learned, like, I remember spending, like, 200 francs CFA, 200 francs CFA is like €1 or something in internet connection. I was downloading all the videos.
Wow, it's true.
And looking at it like, what the fuck, and experiencing it. Yeah, it just started like that, Yeah.
Nice. So it's funny because you started manga, then you got introduced to Photoshop, and that's my big question. I've also seen lately, actually, I saw like a process videos of yours. I also see that sometimes you print out your artwork, cut it out, and reuse it in that terminology. Will you say like you stumbled into that world of collage a lot at the very beginning?
No.
Collage in terms of breaking down pictures.
Breaking down. Yeah, I mean, not actually. At the very, very beginning, I was doing just brush strokes, with the bounce and stuff. I was doing brush strokes, no collage and stuff. I was doing brush strokes, and it's a uncle. In Africa, everyone is an uncle when you are
uncle. I know. Hello, auntie. Hello, uncle.
Yeah.
respect.
Respect.
Come on, otherwise, sure, the cane is gonna come.
Hey, bro, I don't want any trouble. So he was like, you should start feel your art, because I see your stuff is good, visually is good, but it's robotic, I would say. So feel it. He was just saying me just like that. Maybe he was drunk, I don't know. But it was like, you need to feel your art. And I was like, okay. So I bought graphic tablet, and then I start collage and stuff. And yeah, I was like...
But it's funny how sometimes one little word or like a suggestion from an outsider can give you such a big perspective of how to evolve your work. Because it's funny, even Yaib had something like that. He was telling me that he found his own signature, and it's amazing to see now that feel your artwork. It's a weird one because it's difficult to envision, but when you feel it, I think you done the best artwork that you can do. Because I feel like a lot of artists don't understand, like, a lot of people do art, but a lot of people don't have really a connection to what they do. Like, I just do something very cool and they put it out, and they miss that connection. Rather, your work, it looks very dramatic, and between the strokes, the collage, and everything, you kind of have a sensation of it's almost like you creating a mood or a sensation that you're feeling at the moment. So don't quote me on that, but that's my sensation, When I look at it, it's just because there's so much happening between strokes, contrast, some wording here, maybe an eye looking at you in a certain way. It makes you reflect and almost deeper into finding what that artwork means personally to you, Is that something that you do intentionally, or does every piece that you do talk to you personally? Let's word it like that. Okay.
Of course, yes. I mean, my work, and we jump straight into the point. My work is about rebellion. It's about emotion. It's about how you can communicate emotion based on how I feel. I do a ton of research about emotion, and I question myself a lot. When I feel something, I'm just like, people say that it's a metacognition or something. I don't know what it is. It's just asking question to myself like, what do you feel? Even if it is the most weird, shitty ass like emotion, I'm just like, whoa, Jesus, I need to put that somewhere, put that in a box, and I just take my iPad, take my Photoshop, open Photoshop, or take just a painting just like this one and start drawing something. Yeah. And at the end, I feel like I'm possessed in a way. And at the end, I'm the first observer. I'm the first spectator of what I've created. I'm just like, what the fuck? It's cool. That's it. Yeah.
I find it funny. You used two words. One was rebellion and one was emotion. I think one thing that the fact that you kept, within the black community, especially men's and everything, not a lot of people share their emotion because we are always built to be this strong characters. You're a man, you don't need to, men don't cry and stuff like that. So it's beautiful actually that you are it almost feels like you're rebelling, you're a rebel against that mentality. Because everybody I feel carry emotion, but that's me personally. Because I think like when it comes to emotion, in the black community, we don't talk too much, especially male. We don't talk too much about emotion, with at least
we need to be
that's
strong.
how I grow. No, but don't get me wrong. Strong is good, but we are not almighty.
Yeah.
And there are situations in life because what is the thing? I cry sometimes. I've lost family. I've lost a lot of things in my life, and I cry a lot of times because man, I'm strong, but sometimes I cannot carry the weight of the world on my own. And that's why I'm always nice to people and everything. So it's good to see that sometimes you find other people that actually put emotion in their work because it actually tells people, it almost like if a young generation look at it, they will say like, wow, it's good to have emotion. So I felt like this. I don't know how to say it. It's almost like you can create a bridge just by sharing emotion with a younger generation in a generation where people don't often show their emotion because they all have to look like certain peoples, especially right now. So I find it very interesting what you do. I don't want to go too deep, but maybe I'm just
no
talking
worries,
rubbish.
man. You can go deep or in the surface. No worries.
And I wanted to ask you, obviously, as we are both African, I wanted to touch this with any person coming from Africa. How do you see art at the moment in Cameroon? Has it evolved since you was a kid? And can I also know if your parents have always been pro you becoming an artist?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My parents are less my mother than my father. My father is the African father. No discussion, no talking about. You don't talk about your emotion. What is an emotion, bro?
No,
what are you talking about?
No choice.
What the fuck? I'm God, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
My God, man.
Is you have to understand what I'm saying to you. Is the truth. Is the path. And my mother is maybe because she's younger than my father and she understands more the new generation, like the new what's going through the youth in a way. But nah, they never at the beginning. Nah, there was like you need to, and you are the firstborn, and you are the
oh wow,
you are. Man, bro, it was crazy.
No, it's a big weight for people that don't know, but like especially in Africa, the weight on the firstborn is unbelievable, almost unbearable sometimes, because they have so many standards for you that sometimes it might create you a problem in life because if you don't hit that mark, you might not be confident anymore because there's so much expectation from you. No, totally understand that, man.
It's a reason why I work a lot. Even in art, like even if I talk to you about emotion and all this thing, it's the reason why what drives me in a way. I don't say that it's good. I don't say that it's bad because it's a crazy fuel, but you have to manage because you is the firstborn. You have to provide. you have to take care of the family after the disease of your parents, and
You have to carry everyone.
exactly. So, and my father is actually old. He's getting older, and I'm just like, man, I gotta do stuff. I cannot do the opposite. I need to
Can I
do.
also ask you, you said you work a lot, and I think that is something that I had in common to you. I mean, now I'm trying to slow down because obviously I have a child and everything, so I must take time off to spend time, quality time with my child. But before my child, I used to be obsessed in drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. And I want to see if it is the same reason, because for me, a lot of people like, okay, my father, traditional Nigerian, but my mom, Italian, she was supportive, but also she was a Western woman. So she was more like, she already understand, like, look, if it's a thing that you want to follow and you really want it, go for it, Rather, my father will be always that person, exactly as you said, a traditional, typical African father, unbreakable, The reason why I started working a lot is because since I was a kid, I always know I love drawing, and whatever I could do as a job, I will always push the thing. I'm a graphic designer. I used to do a lot of logos for websites. That's actually how I started into the design field. But then a lot of people, when I said, I'm going to become an artist, most of the people laughed at me, you know, like, oh, what are you going to do? You're going to do children illustration on the book, always comments like this my whole life. And especially because I didn't grow up in the UK. I grew up in Italy. There was always this thing of, you live in Italy, you're not going to become nothing, bro. Just go get a job, And this thing have always brainwashed me so much that my thing became almost like I have to work so much because I have to prove them wrong. And that drive of proving somebody wrong is almost to show people that if you really want something and you work for it, you will get there eventually. It doesn't matter what happened, but just put that work into it. So I became so stubborn, and that stubbornness actually led me into becoming who I am today, because I never stopped a day, So that's why when you say like, I do it a lot, do you feel that was also for you the case of proving something to the people around you, that your art is actually something that is you, it belongs to you and you need to do it, that's the right part. Do you feel the same way?
I feel like I didn't have the choice.
Okay.
There is no choice. And I mean, it's not about proving them they are wrong. It's about me being independent from them. I don't want to prove you that we are wrong, but I don't want to live the classical typical life of everybody else.
But when I say prove you wrong, in reality I mean acceptance,
Yeah. Okay.
Proving people wrong for me doesn't mean showing you I can do it. You see, you was wrong. It's not only about that. It's more about this is me. Allow me to be me.
Yeah.
Because when if people told me stop it, the choice will always be on. That's what I will say, because I know people that will go against their parents to get to their dream. You know why? Because they feel it so much that if they don't feed it, they will either go in depression or they will not be able to do anything. That's why a lot of time people clash, and then when they become successful, independent, then the parent will be like, I see you now. You understand what I mean? No, but you understand what I mean, proving wrong. That for me means that, because sometimes I feel like your parents, obviously, they want you to be independent, but they want you to be so independent that you will never, ever have to chase money. Yeah, you know what I mean? When you're freelancing, can be great 1 year, but the next year, is it guaranteed? But you see, that's exactly what I mean. I feel like, but if they see you being successful and being able to transform something that is not a normal job into something consistent, and you are able to balance that in your life, then I definitely, it's almost like you proving them, I can do this, don't worry. And I see, like, when people see that, then every body start believing in you, if it makes sense.
Yeah,
because I remember when I had my first success was crazy. People will be like, David, who, that guy, the troublemaker? You understand what I mean? And nobody ever expected I will be where I am, just because they always had such a small expectation from me, how we live. But the reality is like, just do and keep it for yourself. Even if they say no, just work on it. You know.
I think that God gave you the vision at you. At you, not at all the people around you. At
just
you.
a few. Yeah.
Just believe into that vision and jump straight. Like, if you have the courage, because a lot of people doesn't have the courage to jump into that vision.
Courage. That's the word.
And it's cool, you choose your life. But if you have the courage to jump straight, bro, just go all in.
Go for it.
Like all in, yeah.
I agree, because there are still people now that at their 30s, they're very successful in the work they have right now. And then at 40, they start dropping out because they are stable enough to experience what they really love doing when they was younger. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that I see right now dropping more out and following something they love when they was younger. But the only difference is, I feel like if you start younger, you will have a better understanding in the future of how to maximize, how do you call it, work opportunity. You will understand the potential of your artistry way more than others, because you will have started with the hustling side. Then you start understanding how to charge people. Then you work with all the best people that you ever wanted to work. Then you influence people, and then you just become a legacy, you know. And I think, like, if you understand what I mean, even people like you, I definitely think you can leave a massive legacy when it comes to art. Because even the work, actually the work that you see at your back at the moment, I haven't seen a lot of that in your portfolio right now. It's very different. I can tell the exploration is very similar. But when it comes to the conclusion, even the eyes, the lips, or something like that. So the eyes and the lips are static, they are still, but everything else is flowing. So it makes your mind go crazy. That's why I'm very interested. Actually, let's go question. Otherwise, I'm going to lead away, make a conversation with no sense, you know. But anyway, can I ask you, what was the medium you started with, and what are you using right now to create your artwork?
The medium that I started with, it was Photoshop, only Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah, it was only Photoshop. And now I use everything from sketch pen or acrylic, ashes, paper, like journal, like whatever, wood. I use everything, even when I was smoking cigar to be the artist, like
one of them classy.
What the fuck, bro? My body told to me, stop that shit right now. I was dead sick. But I used the ash of cigar to put on my paintings, and now I do custom brush that I use on Photoshop. I develop my own language. It's my word. I use everything. I use diversity to create uniqueness. That's
amazing, man. That's amazing. And if I can ask you, like, what till now, what was the most interesting projects you worked on?
What the most interesting? I would say the AFCON. I would say the AFCON. Most definitely.
Make you proud.
What the heck?
When it came out like this.
What?
No, but no, I know. I can imagine, bro. You make the country proud, man. Listen.
What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
You know, the opening scene when you have this carpet, and I was working with Ye on this. You know, I don't collaborate a lot. I do all my stuff by myself in my corner. But for this project, I was with Ye, and with this energy, you feel it in your conversation. The energy of Ye.
There's just energy, man.
Man, it's crazy working on that project and see it coming through and happening in the real world in front of a whole continent.
Yeah. Man, everybody was dancing. I can imagine, man. Listen,
Jesus.
no, but
And I was like,
can I actually? How do you collaborate together? Did the company or agency that got the job for got you both on board?
They got us both on board. Bakuza, they got us both on board.
But do you knew I before that?
Yeah, yeah, we was on different forums together, cool. And I followed him, and he followed me.
No, but have you ever spoken before that?
Yeah, but slightly on.
Okay,
Yeah,
like me, just messaging, cheering up people. Yeah, man,
giving some like
that's
comments
beautiful.
and stuff. Yeah. But
you see, that's the power of collaboration, man. One of my dreams was always like to create like a collective of amazing artists. But the problem is I don't trust a lot of people with it, because a lot of people, I cannot have expectation that people are like me. But then I see artists like you, like, yeah, but you are living in different parts of the world, so it's difficult, maybe time zone and getting everything right. But one of my dreams was actually create this space where we create visual, but in any aspect, photography, video making, 3D, 2D, hand-painted, music, and we create all in this one thing. Because you know what is the thing? I feel like Western art, we saw so much of it, you know, Western art. There's so much we know about it. But then when it comes to African art, Caribbean art, like a minority community in Europe, we don't see a lot. Maybe in Africa you see a lot because you're in Africa, obviously. But in Europe, you don't see as much of this impact. And it's very diverse, rich, compared to what we see on daily basis. So the idea was always like, how can I create a studio where we can actually create something, a collective where we can actually create from A till Z the whole vision of a brand, or I don't know, man.
It's like a studio with a ton of,
but with the love of collaboration and this kind of thing. Because I feel like one of the things that a lot of people are afraid of, especially I see in the scene, there's a lot of people that want to walk alone, have success for themselves, yeah? But one thing they don't understand is like, if you don't work with others or allow people inside that circle, it's you, but that's it, you know? And you can evolve, yeah, but if you never challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone or try something different or maybe think in a different way. Sometimes, as I said, you see, you said your uncle just mentioned that random thing out of the... You understand what I mean? That random thing in a room of people similar to you with a similar mindset, you will have it 1,000 times, you know, where you don't come with your mind, that next person will come. So I find it very stimulating being with other artists. Actually, I wanted to ask you, do you surround yourself by a lot of people in the design community in Cameroon? Do you have a big community of artists?
Absolutely not. I surround myself.
No.
Yeah, I try to avoid artists here because it's easy to fall into, you know, for artists, it's easy to fall into the trap of, I have the greatest version, I have the greatest vision, I'm the next, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, I'm the next Kanye West, I have the vision, and you move into that ego trip thing when I feel, especially in our country, you know, people empower themselves so much that they cannot see, they are blind.
But do you think it's the lack of opportunity doing that to people? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I love that you say that, because I feel like, almost like when you come from poverty and everything and you build something, you know, you're that person, you know? And I feel that's a problem, I think. And I think, don't get me wrong, people still, I think, even if you come from poverty, even, you know, as an African, you know, if you're not doing well, you know, your neighbor is there, you know, you have an auntie, you know, there will still be people looking after yourself, you know, in any scenario. But at the same time, by not having a lot of opportunity, these few people, you see, as I said before, the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, that's it. But then after that, they will just fade out sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they don't allow nobody inside. They want everything for themselves. It's almost like, okay, now you work for clients, you work for Mercedes, you done 6-7 projects, okay. They're not always going to come to you, because at a certain point they need to change style, they need something more fresh, they need something different, that people are surprised to see a different art style. So you cannot really expect that that client or that art buyer will they need to go to someone else eventually too. So not linking up with somebody, transform your vision on a few collection. That will keep you also on always trending, always learning something new, always. So that's why I don't understand why people think in the short term rather than the long term, if it makes sense.
Yeah, even I have a question for you. I don't know if I'm...
Go for it, please.
Yeah, it's a question of style, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When a brand like Mercedes or whatever brand come to you, it's for your style, you know?
It's for your style, yeah.
They can give you 1, 2, 3 projects, 5 projects, but they won't do like 10 project, 20 project with you, because they need to change. You know?
Never. It's like Nike, you know?
Yeah, Nike, I think that is a one photos.
It's one shot, you know? I know people that did more stuff with them, but in general, it's like they are so big that they cannot always use the same person. It wouldn't make sense for a business view, you know?
And what if you kill your style? What if you kill what you are known for and go for something else? I mean,
will you accept that? Is that my question?
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? When I was younger, I will compromise on certain things because I needed to pay rent and something like that. But the older I get, I cannot compromise on everything, you know, because that means you're not keeping your real you. You understand what I mean? Like even me now, at example, I've tried AI. I posted one time something about the AI, but it's just about how to put a product on an AI background. But can I be honest? I'm not too in for AI. And don't matter where you put me, I can see the potential of AI, but I don't really love the fact that they create art with the scraps of other artists' AI. But I cannot say I hate AI, because there are certain things like extend the image, but I already created the artwork, you know? So I'm not stealing anything. I have the image, I want to mock up on a hoodie, done, you know? Finish. But apart that, I don't really use it to create art, because I think even you're somebody that you have a long, big process. I love the process. And if I didn't go through the process, I don't like it. Like, it's easy to press 2 buttons, you know? But if you don't have a process, okay, let's say internet goes away for 1 month. What are you going to do? You see, that's my question.
That's crazy.
I don't think it will ever think as you will think individually. So sometimes if they offer me to do something, at example in AI, most of the time I will decline, you know, just because it's not my, I know it's money, but at the same time, it's not me, you know, so why do something, I don't know how to say it. It's almost like I sell myself in a certain way, but then I take any project. When I was younger, I would do everything for the money just because I wanted to grow. I wanted to get more opportunities. I wanted to get known. But I'm not in that stage anymore, you know. I've done my work. I've done my illustration. I'm recognized by my style. I've worked with the big clients. Now that I have a voice, I can say no, you know.
Yeah.
Rather, sometimes people still are bigger than me, and they still just hoover every money they can take. But
they are chasing money.
yeah, but sometimes you need to stick to your principles, you know, because your principles are more important than anything. So even those people, their audience will drop out after, because they will see that they don't believe in what they're actually selling you, if it makes sense, you know. If I use AI when all my ideas and design is all finished.
Okay. Okay.
What I'm doing is like, you know what? I don't want to do that long process. Do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to mockup, I really mean it. I choose the image, I cut it out, I put it on a black background. Then I said, put my logo here. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead of editing, you
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
every single little details and stuff.
Okay.
Mm.
When I'm against AI, okay, I'm pro AI if it simplified the boring process of designing, okay? But when it comes to what I'm against AI, is when AI creates without allowing you to learn or create a process for yourself. So do everything for me. That's what I don't like, because a lot of people now they're making content and
Mm-hmm.
A to Z is simply AI,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm against with. But I know some AI artists that they use AI in a very clever way. So they do
Mm-hmm.
the photography, they do the green screen, they do the animation, they do everything. Then when they have everything set, they say
Mm-hmm.
put it all together in this way. But everything that you see on the video or whatever they created it individually first.
Oh
And
yeah.
AI is
Okay.
just a way to glue it together
Mm-hmm.
in the most fastest way. But
Mm-hmm.
every single element have been already created outside AI. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the right way. I will show you some artists. You will understand what I mean. AI could simplify your boring process. Okay, you're an illustrator. Yeah, you animate as well. But you know what? I want to see it on that billboard. I want to see it here for a
Yeah.
client.
Okay.
I want to see this. You have to find every picture, download the picture, pay for the licensing of the picture, then you
Mm-hmm.
crop it out, then
Yeah.
you put it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
boring stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
you leave me alone, or you do it for me. High five. But you see what I mean? That boring side of design can be done by AI. It simplified, not that I don't know how to do it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
such a long process that will be simplified just by doing that. Then when the client tells me, I want the perfect mock-up like this, then I have to take the image, do it the traditional way. You know why? Because sometimes the client want to see 55 version of one image, but in different mediums, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The time that you spend for every individual thing is just too much sometimes. You will see in a few years how far this technology will go. It scares me, man. Does it scare you as an artist?
Mm, no, I think that I think that that's my prediction. I love prediction because sometimes
Yeah.
I'm just like
No, it's good.
traditional artists will traditional
People,
art will be more valuable in the
I love
next year than
I love
today.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have
Yes.
the skill, you will be like a kind of
Back to analog.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
true. It's true. When
Because
I say
yeah.
I'm afraid that it will disrupt the design industry. When my fear is, why I say disruption. I believe in what you said, so people will come back to traditional art.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
how long? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pay attention to what I say, because I think like when AI hit, I just see like a lot of people don't have a lot of jobs as it used to be. It
Mhm.
disrupted the industry because a
Mhm.
lot of in-house people, let's say photography,
Mhm.
before you would call the photographer, they would do 150 shots. Then
Mhm.
you will select only 10. Can we do this better? They will do another shot. It's a lot of money for the photographer, and that's the good process. But now
Mhm.
with AI, you can simply say, listen, I want to see how this car look in this scenario. Put a spaceman here. Give me 75 version. Ta 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 ta. It gives you all the examples. Then you
Mhm.
like an example. You call the photographer. This is what I want. So you cut the cost of the whole process,
Mhm.
because now people have the possibility to have the vision I don't know how to say it. It's a weird way to say it because I want it to make sense.
The vision is more clear, so you can take someone and tell him that this is the reference.
Yeah.
This is the type of thing that I want.
But now, by this, you're also cutting the vision of the artistry of the photographer. Because if the photographer did the session and you are leading the session, you'll be, I want it like this, I want it like this. A mistake can give you a great idea.
That's the point. That's the point.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But AI will not do that eventual mistake.
Nah.
It will just give you ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. That's
exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So that's what I'm trying to say in a nice way, that AI, is powerful and everything. And when I say I don't know for how long it lasts, is because people are using AI technology now, and it kind of cut down work for certain environment of the design field. So my question is this: if technology is evolving and it gets better and better, how long will this last? Because there's a problem of nowadays, you do 3 months, and in 3 months' time, they evolve something else. You get what I mean? So it's not anymore like a 5 years, we get used to it.
Yeah.
And 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, and there's always something new.
Yeah.
So my fear is, how far will this technology be? Because even your art, as example, you build your art. If I can say now, I take 3 or 4 images that I have on your social media and I feed it to him, and it understands your way of thinking. Now, and let's not talk black magic. You understand what I mean? But let's say in a few years, it will be able to do that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it kind of put you in a situation like, whoa, man, wait a second? It's almost like, I still believe you are the amazing artist, you have a visual, but I'm afraid of how far technology can go, And sometimes I feel like the people need to put some brakes on technology, because we are going in very, I don't know, tell me your opinion. I feel like they're going too far. We're already too far from normality,
Yeah.
I'm religious, I'm a believer and everything. So for me, even the evolution of bringing it so far is coming to a place where it scares me personally, because this technology can harm people, or like can make people even more depressed in the future, not confident. So there's a lot of things that it can make personally to people.
I think that they are not going to stop, and I think that joy, what we are searching for, the ending point is not the happiness. That moment when you say that I'm going to be happy when I have that. Now, I think that the happiness is when you arrive at this point, you look back, you look the process, and you are like, damn, I made it. And with AI and stuff, there is a quote that I really love about AI is AI can create, but AI cannot have the story.
Yes,
AI can never have your story. Never ever. AI can copy your style from A to Z, but never your story. And I think that human beings are connected all together through story. Since the very young age, the very beginning, we are telling story.
That we have our stories.
Yeah. That's why people are connecting with you. That's why people are connecting with anyone else doing their stuff, because there is a human being there. And what story? What is his story? Like, what does she tell? What does he tell? Like, what is the meaning behind the thing? AI can produce the perfect thing, but the little mistake that made you who you are, AI can never do that. And that's the reason why we can evolve. AI not. AI can eat things and spit
just got more
shit.
appetite. But yeah, man, listen, I wanted to ask you, have you ever done sculpture? Have you ever done toys?
I think that is the next step for me, is just to enter into the real world. You know, moving, I would not say moving out social media, but use social media as a tool to communicate about what I do in the real world and connecting with people in the real world through objects. And I give you the link of my website, and is finished yet, but it's not accessible. And my research with this series of artwork is how to make art accessible. You know, I love the artwork and I love owning paintings. Like, I try to collect a bit of paintings from local artists here. With, and I love having objects and tell to people that, this object, I get it from this person, and I go from it in his studio, and I think that
it makes me laugh because you see my laptop.
Yeah,
it's literally a speaker from any friend, and it's just because I love when people ask me who did this. I say, "Oh no, this is my friend." Like, it gives you, as you said, stories. It gives you a story to tell, and it makes people know other people. So collecting other people is almost like you're investing in your own community, if it makes sense. So it's a great thing, man. And I want to ask you, this painting at your back, man, I love it so much. It's weird because the more I look at it, the more it almost looks like it took more color.
Yeah. This is a void. And my auntie come into my room, my real auntie. I know that we talk about African uncle and auntie and stuff. But she come into my space and she was like, "What are you doing?" Because first thing, I was doing like realistic type of portrait. I wanted to get close to the style that I produce on Instagram and stuff that you can see on Instagram. But I felt that there is something missing. And my auntie come into my space and she was like, "Oh, you changed your style. I don't like it." And I was like, "Oh man, fuck. Oh, Jesus is Lord. I spend too much time doing it and I enjoy it." And the more time she spent into the space, the more she was like, "Damn, it's interesting."
No, it's super interesting.
And she was like, at the end of the day, she was like, "I bought it. Like, I get my money. I bought that thing." And that's how I sell my first painting. And I'm just like,
bro, you know what is the thing? Even the one at your back specifically, I even love it more than the stuff that because I've never seen your specific style like this, but I even love it more than your Instagram stuff. Your Instagram stuff is unbelievable, man, because I know you put a lot of work into it, but just by looking at that style, I don't know, bro, there is something about being unfinished, is something you lead to look into the eye of the person, and then I don't know, from the distance you can see the face. It's just, yes, please put it there, put it there. And it's just like, it's just different, man. It's captivating, but there's something of the eye that leads you into it, drags you inside. So no, it's beautiful to see. But you see things like this, imagine doing a sculpture, like a 3D sculpture, where the face is built out of those shape, like you find somebody, I don't know how you call it, but when you engrave the wood, you can make all the little detail look exactly like. Imagine how much possibility, or like you could have like 17 glass windows, and on every layer there is painting, and then when you cross it just move, bro. I'm tripping at the moment.
It's cool.
I can see the potential of that style. It's very, very cool, man. And I think it looks different because me, at example, tell me if I'm wrong. When I design digitally, I have a style. When I design freehand, I have a total different style. You can tell we come from the same world, but it looks very different at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Does
my
it
God.
happen to you as well?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. And I was like a bit um I was not happy with the style. Like it is different, and that difference, I was not happy with that difference. And I was like, how can I just close that gap? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. And it is the reason why I respect you guys. You coming from the digital world or and going through the real world, but with the same style. You know, you keep that thing. And for example, the work of Ye, I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like you use Illustrator but on a canvas, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Me, I cannot do that for sure. I
But
cannot do that.
but I think you're very different as you're very different as style.
Mm,
That's the thing, and I don't think you can do that. I guarantee you can do that,
mm-hmm,
but you will always tend to go back to this chaotic because that's your art, that's your personality. So I feel like whenever I see something of yours, if you didn't have so much in it,
mm-hmm.
it's not Maxime. No, no. It's a copycat. You understand
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just
Mm-hmm,
somebody trying to be like him. But then when I see this, I can relate to your previous art
mm-hmm,
because you put a lot of element, the stroke brush,
mm-hmm,
the only difference that you did here is almost like it feels like instead of using a collage of a really image or a
mm-hmm,
print or whatever, you painted, you know?
mm-hmm,
And it almost uh, so it almost like the art that you did before didn't fully belong to you. So I mean, the style
mm-hmm.
belongs to you, but the elements that you pick is all coming from different
Like
parts.
verse. Mm-hmm.
Rather, this one, everything is you. So the
Yeah.
painting, the face, the stroke,
Everything.
the background, the way you tinted the background that is faded. Then you put the it belongs to you because everything there, even if you got an inspiration from something, whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
every stroke is done by you. And digitally can be cut out, can be, it's
Pick it
still your
up
style,
everywhere.
but
Mm-hmm.
it belongs somewhere, like,
Mm-hmm.
but you create, it's almost like I go in a market, I take so
Mm-hmm.
many stuff, then come back home, and from anything I took from the market, I put it
Mm-hmm.
together to recreate something new, if
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know. It's a process, but amazing boat, bro.
Thank you so much,
I'm
man.
really glad to see that because it's very big potential, big potential.
Yeah, most def. Most def.
What about 3D, 3D space?
3D space. A open cinema 4D one time and I close it just after that. I was like, damn, hell nah. Hell the fuck nah.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, at first it's really intimidating. All these buttons, it was like a bit like After Effect when you
Mhm.
come from I don't know, Procreate and you open for the first time After Effect, you are like, Jesus.
Remember those days. I remember those
oh
days.
my oh
Funny
my
days,
god.
actually.
Mm,
Funny days, actually. No, it's because sometimes it's about patience and how much you want it in the moment that you're trying the program. So let's say
mm-hmm,
like you started with sketching, like strokes and everything. You
mm-hmm,
do it so much, you get tired of it. You add something, you focus in that area.
mm-hmm,
Now I do always static stuff. I did it for many years. Now I
mm-hmm.
want to move it. You find your medium of moving it with Procreate or like, you do a Procreate animation?
Yeah, too. Yeah.
Okay. But let's
Mm-hmm,
say then you move in After Effects, it will be a total different feel
mm-hmm,
of animation because you
mm-hmm.
can create all this crazy kinetic
Yeah.
type and stuff.
The keyframes and stuff. Mm,
You can do unbelievable stuff. So once you get tired of this Procreate animation and you want
mm-hmm,
more, I
mm-hmm.
guarantee you it will push you automatically to focus on. Are you using After Effects, by the way, right now?
Yeah. Of course,
Okay.
of
You
course.
see?
I first use After Effects and then move to Procreate, but both of
Okay.
them, yeah.
But I think After Effects, the special thing of After Effects is just like you can get away with the basics. You don't need you just need a good understanding of looping effects, how to go in, go out, come back again, repeat it, and a mask. If you know how to mask well, you can do some
That's
crazy
it.
stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
man. But you do 3D, right?
I do, but I don't post about it. I'm not a 3D artist, bro. I just like to experiment new technology. I done some cool stuff, but you know, no,
It's just for the experience.
no. But I think for me, yes. The only reason why I will use it is like if I will ever do a toy with some of my friends, I want to do like a collaboration toys with some people that do 3D work. That is where I would like to do 3D, you know, but only with somebody that is in the 3D world, you know, but not just for like my work. I don't know. I like my 2D work. Not, no, it's me. I've spent my whole life creating this, and it's just becoming more intricate year after year, you know? Anyway, bro, thanks a
Okay.
lot for being with me today. I really appreciate it. Was lovely to talk to you. And please, everybody, just follow this guy. His work is insane. And thanks again for everything, bro. What can I say? Thank you a lot.
Follow David too and wish him like good luck for everything. He is the best, man. He is the best. So thank you so much, man, for
Thank you,
having
bro.
me. For real, it's a pleasure, and
Thanks,
I hope
bro.
that we can do something like together in the future. Next, like right
Listen, I'm
now
ready.
or
I'm
after
ready.
that.
I'm ready when you are. I'm ready when you are, man. Thanks
Thank you
again,
so
bro. Respect. Big love, huh?
much. You.